from an equity perspective, the Big Spending 2021 budget does tick a lot of boxes. I mean, when we think about the forecasts in there, they're expecting unemployment to go down to 4.5%. Now, part of that is because of the government spending, and I think when we look at inequality, the best thing that you can do is give someone a job to help reduce inequality. So that is a great thing. I think too, there's definitely a gender lens on this budget. The centrepiece, I suppose, of those gender measures is the childcare measure, $1.7 billion over 3 years, starting from July 2022. Now, this measure removes the annual cap and increases the subsidy for the second or third child in a family. Now, this measure is quite important because what it does is it removes some of the disincentives for women working a fourth or fifth day. Sometimes they're facing 80, 90 or 100% loss in their incomes on those days. Now, this measure reduces that disincentive but doesn't totally eliminate it. So I think it's a step in the right direction, but the government can probably do more on that over time. There were some other measures for women around security and safety that are obviously quite welcome. But also with a gender lens, I think, is the aged care package, $18 billion over 4 years. Very significant spending on both residential aged care and home care packages. And this also is really targeted towards women because when we think about the workforce in residential aged care, 87% of them are women. From a broader perspective, we had the tax cuts, the extension of the low and middle income tax offset for another year. That's worth $7.5 billion. That'll be paid in the second half of 2022. Now, when we get those sorts of tax cuts for lower income households, they do tend to get spent. So that's a good thing for the economy as it gets recycled back through. So I think broadly speaking, I think we can definitely say that from an equity perspective, this budget has made some steps in the right direction, but I think over time, further progress is going to need to be made to close some of those gaps.